She's focusing very much on what she calls defending people's rights. And by that she means she's not going to defend Wisconsin's marriage amendment. She's not going to defend Wisconsin's voter ID law. She's going to use her environmental enforcement agency to try to obstruct the mining process up north. All of those things are wrong for Wisconsin, not on the issues themselves, but on the role of the Attorney General. And that's what I'm promising the people of Wisconsin. I will be their lawyer. I will defend the state's laws, and I will enforce the state's laws the way they're written. And honestly,
so you wouldn't, if you believed as an attorney that something might not pass constitutional muster, you would still defend the law anyhow?
Yes, because the job of the executive branch is not to interpret the law, it's to enforce the law. Legislature writes it, executive branch enforces it, and if it needs to be interpreted as to whether it's constitutional or not, that comes from the Supreme Court of the state of Wisconsin or the U.S. Supreme Court.
So voter ID, for instance, you would defend that law?
I will defend it until the Supreme Court gives us a determination as to whether this is legal.
And same-sex marriage ban, same thing?
Same thing.
I want to ask you about something that you said earlier, and now I've talked about again recently, and that's the domestic partner registry law in this state. I think initially when you were asked about that, you said you wouldn't defend it, but now you say you would have defended it. Why the change in position?
You know, it was almost immediate. We were doing an interview, and we were talking about other issues, and the question kind of came out of left field. You know, my reaction was, well, the current Attorney General's not defending it. After that interview, I sat down, did some research, and, you know, I found, wait a minute, this is not clearly unconstitutional. It doesn't clearly violate our state constitutional provision. My answer should be yes, and I immediately changed that position.
Susan Happ has said that, you know, she will look at the laws one by one. She'll decide which ones to defend based on whether or not she thinks she's constitutional. You said you'll follow the letter of the law. There are going to be people out there. There are people critical of her stance on this, but they may be critical of yours. And they said, you know, Brad Schimel would be a rubber stamp for a Republican-controlled legislature and possibly a Republican governor. What do you say to people who make that criticism?
Well, I don't like the term rubber stamp, but, you know, honestly, I'll be pretty predictable no matter who is running the governor's mansion or who's running the legislature. I'll be pretty predictable. If they've passed that law through and it's not plainly unconstitutional, that there are non-frivolous arguments to be made to support the law, I will be supporting that law no matter who's passing it.